What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Venator Trading live stream. We are starting a brand new 10k to max funding challenge, and super excited about it. Going to use Bespoke Funding. They're a new prop firm, kind of up and coming. They've been pretty active on Twitter lately. Anyway, gonna check them out, see how it goes. I purchased the 10k account last night. Today is Wednesday, May 10th, and so I got the account. I haven't even logged into it yet. I'm gonna log in and just show you on my phone here all the account details and everything that's going on with that. So why am I doing this? There are so many people out there that are trying to get funded with prop firms. They know they don't have the capital, the personal capital they need to do a small private account. And if they could put in 500 bucks, if they could put in $1,000 bucks, they would have to trade so aggressively and flip that account so many times before it would be at a place where they could trade conservatively and wisely and be able to provide for themselves, their families, and ditch the day job. So where most of the traders find themselves is in a situation where they need to take a small amount of money that they have, something that if they lose, it's not going to feel great, but it's not going to be the end of the world, and put themselves in a position to get a funded account wherein they can then grow the profits from that account to eventually reach enough funding with a prop firm to be able to leave the 9-to-5, which is really what we're all trying to do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my YouTube. I want to shoot this link out to subscribers and such. On my Twitter. If you do not follow me on Twitter yet, you can do that at Venator Trading on Twitter. Let me put this in real quick. 10k to max funding challenge with a bespoke funding program. All right. So again, what we're doing is I'm going to try to take this 10k two-step challenge with bespoke funding, and I'm going to try to get funded with it, and then I'm going to only using the profits from the funded account purchase larger funded accounts and stack them until we can get to a place where we have max funding. I want to see how long it could take. I want to see how the company is, how they work with the brokerage. They use ACAP currently, which is what most of the big companies are using right now, the newer companies anyway. So I'm interested to see how their spreads are, their commissions are, their fills, their slippage, really everything about just how they operate as a company, but then how they are on the back end, looking at the dashboard and looking at payouts when they come, what the certificates look like, just my whole experience through this process. And hopefully maybe some of you will follow along with me and enjoy the process here. So I'm going to be here Monday through Friday, and 7 a.m., which is when the New York kill zone opens for Forex pairs. And we'll stay on for probably an hour, maybe a little more. We'll see. If trades come up, I'll take them. You'll see them here. If no setups fit my criteria, I'm not going to take them, but I'll sit here. I'll analyze charts, might answer some questions in the chat, just talk about trading, psychology, whatever else is going on, read price action, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's kind of the game plan. So let me first thing log into my Bespoke funding account. So I'm using MT5, MT4, MT5. I prefer MT5. So let's go up here, and here we go. So, classic challenge, MT5 credentials, bespoke funding program. It's all right there. It says, welcome, Brad. That's me. Classic challenge, phase 1. This is the first phase of the evaluation process. You must follow a good trading plan and control your risk. And control your risk to succeed in this phase. Once you have completed the trading objectives and prove your trading skills, you will have access to phase 2 to continue the evaluation process. So, great little email, looks good. Graphics look good. And then they come down here to my account login, starting balance 10,000, my account number, my password, which I can't share here, obviously, but I will load it up. So, copying, going to MT5 on my trade. Here we go. So we go to add an account. This is 8cap. We are putting in our login information on the 8cap demo. Go back, grab the password. Paste. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's all in there. Click done. And here we are live. This is really weird to do this with the phone up here like this, but you can see $10,000 account balance. You can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but bespoke funding is listed up there. Yeah. So first thing I like to do when I get a new account is I like to go in and just put in, take off all the pairs that I don't use, because it just loads up a bunch of random stuff in there, and only put in the pairs that I'm going to use. Quotes, so you can see it just puts in all kinds of stuff. This is all indices. I do trade indices, but not all of these. And so click the little edit button up here. The reason I'm not showing you this on my desktop MT4 is because I'm using my Mac setup to do all my streaming. It just works better. It's cleaner. It just does a better job with it, in my opinion. And I leave my laptop with my MT4. Really, it's the only thing on that machine. I just try to keep that machine clean. Don't run anything else on it. And so it's there. And so it's right over here. Maybe I'll take the camera down and show you at some point, but it's the same thing on the phone. Anything that I do over here, it's going to show up on the phone and you're going to see it. So we're going to take off all of these and delete them. Go back. I'm leaving US30 on there. I like US30. I also will be trading the euro dollar. I will be trading the pound GBPUSD. I will occasionally trade gold. And that's it. So I watched these 4 pairs right here. US30, euro dollar, pound dollar, and gold. That's what I'm going to be trading on this 10K to max funding challenge to see how it works. So it's a metal, it's 1 indice, and then 2 Forex pairs that are dollar correlated. So we have officially begun. Now let me talk a little bit about bespoke funding. First, let me go ahead and I don't have this logged up on my MT4, so I'm going to load up my bespoke funding. Liked 2 of my tweets about going live, so hey, cool. Glad you guys like that. Come watch. And send some of your 15,000 followers over to watch too. That'd be awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Gmail where this account info is, and I'm going to log this in challenge credentials. Here we go. So now I'm coming over to my MT5 platform. I'm going to open an account. I'm going to choose 8cap. Sorry, it's way over here, so I'm kind of leaning over. Next. Login details, and they are there's the account and the password. Man, they saw this random stuff. Hold on. All right, account details in. We're going to click finish. And nothing happened. What happened? It doesn't show. Maybe I entered something wrong. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can figure this out. It is not working. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's do this again. I must have entered something incorrectly. 8cap. Login. Account number. That is correct. And then the password. If there's noise in the background, I live in Texas, and there is a good old Texas thunderstorm going on outside. So if you hear rain hitting or lightning flashing or thunder clapping, that's what's happening. Oh, that's why I put, yeah, that was stupid. I selected live and not demo. All right, let's load it up. Cool. And it's there, $10,000. I use a trade assistant. I guess it's officially an EA. I don't know, expert advisor, but it's just something for MT5 that you can just drop lines on your chart like you do on TradingView. You can move your set your stop loss, your take profit. You can set break-even points, close partials, all this other kind of stuff. It's just super helpful. It calculates your lot size based on where you put your stop loss, and you can set it to a certain risk percentage of your account balance. You can set it to a certain dollar amount, whatever. either way, it's super helpful. And if you don't use one, man, you should. And I can maybe put the information for this one in the thread if we get to it. So let's go back. I'm not really watching. Oh, good. We've had 0 viewers. That's awesome. So nobody's watching right now. We'll watch later. So what we're going to do now is talk through the bespoke funding two-step challenge, look at their rules and such. All right, hold on. That's not good. Stand by. I need to take care of one little technical issue here. All right. So we're still live. Good. I thought I might have just turned off my Wi-Fi accidentally. Okay. I can't look at Bespoke on this website right now and show you, sadly. So let me just kind of go through the rules on my own. And in fact, maybe I can even do something cool on this. Stand by. I'm kind of new to this whole like streaming setup, and I'm using Streamlabs OBS to get this, which there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I mean it's not horrible. But I'm still trying to figure out live like how to operate and manage all of this. So we're gonna try this. And see how it goes. So if I put that there and under here, okay, cool. I think that'll work. All right, and then if I, so, okay, cool. All right, so now you're seeing the white background. All right, now if I add text, all right, so if I move up this, whoa, I don't want that. I want, how do I edit that? Oh, I gotta, okay. I'm learning on the fly. Bear with me. Open source, edit. Well, that kind of stinks. Let's just, can I just pick a random, there we go. Jeez. This, maybe I should have. There's got to be a better way to do this. So this is what I was gonna do, but it's not really working. Maybe if I just like pull up like a blank notes document and put it up there, I can show you the rules. Maybe I should have been better prepared for this and more than just my iPhone would be logged in watching. And I have this over here so I can see the chat if anybody decides to show up. All right. So let me take this down because that just looks crappy. Crappy. All right, let me get back to that. So the bespoke funding rules. Can I do a new note? Maybe I can do a new note. Hey. Why will that go up there? Okay. Why would that not go to my other monitor? I wonder. Oh, maybe I have to move this up? No. That's not wanting to go. Dadgummit, man. Why does this have to be so difficult? It will not. I have a note open on my other monitor and I cannot move it over to the monitor that is screen sharing all of this. And it's frustrating me. All right, how about a Google Doc? Will a Google Doc work? Can I get that up? Blank Google Doc. Can I move that up? Hey. Okay. That seemed to work okay, I guess. Is it there? It's there. You can see it. All right. And now let's just zoom in pretty far so you can see this. All right. We'll put this in the middle. This is the bespoke funding two-step challenge. So, rule number one is let's just can we do it like this? Rule number one, you must reach a profit target of 8%. Your daily loss limit that you have to avoid is 5%, and your maximum account drawdown is 8%. All right. So the way that they calculate your daily loss limit is the ending daily balance, not equity. So whatever your balance is at the end of the day, that is what they calculate your next day's 5% daily loss limit to be. So end of day balance. All right. So you've got to hit 8%. You can't lose more than 5% in one day, and you can't lose more than 8% overall. There is a 3-day minimum, 3 trading day minimum. I guess I could have said that better. 3 trading day minimum means that if you pass your challenge on day 1, you got to trade for 2 more days before you officially pass the challenge and get your new credentials or whatever to be able to move on. All right. Phase 1. This is phase 1, by the way. Let me put that up here. And we'll just underline that. Boom. 3 trading day minimum. All right. What else is important to know about this, the rules here? So you have an 8% profit, can't lose more than 5% in one day. They use the ending daily balance to determine this. They have a maximum account drawdown of 8%. They have a 3 trading day minimum. Now they allow expert advisors. You can news trade, you can hold over the weekend, whatever. All that stuff is pretty much the same. Oh, big one, no time limit. So there is no 30 days. There's no time limit to pass. You can take as long as you want, which is cool. I mean, most of the firms are going that way, and I don't know. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I think it's neutral. I think it can be a good thing in that when you know you have a time limit, you trade differently. When you know the clock is ticking and you have to perform at such a high level to pass these challenges in a certain amount of time, this is why fewer people pass challenges on these time-based firms versus the no time limit firms, in my opinion. It's one of the reasons. So for me, and the way that I'm going to approach, let's finish bespoke funding 2-step challenge rules. Okay, still only one viewer. Welcome to myself. Yeah, here we go. So phase 2. So let's say you reach, so for a $10,000 account as an example, let me just get rid of this. Go back over here. $10K account by the numbers. All right. So you profit equals $800. Your daily loss limit equals $500. Your account drawdown equals $800. Maybe we should put negative here. All right. So that's what you have to get. I've got to make $800 to be able to pass phase 1 and move on to phase 2. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're talking percentages and you're only trading risking a certain percentage per trade, this is why it takes longer. It's not like you can just, I could go in and throw on a 5 lot on US30 and I could hit $800 in about 4 seconds. But I could also lose the account in 4 seconds. So risk management. Okay, so that's what I have to do on phase 1. Now for phase 2. Phase 2, let me bring this up. It's all the same of this right here, except you only have to get 5% profit. Now this is standard. This is basically the classic prop firm 2-step challenge. You have to hit a higher percentage on phase 1, and then you have to hit a lower percentage on phase 2, all without hitting your daily loss limits or your overall account balance. I'm very, very familiar with these rules. I have taken many challenges. I have failed many challenges. I have passed several challenges. I have been funded. Currently working on a 100K. I'm in phase 1, step 1 for a 100K account on the Funded Trader. And it's up, I don't know, like 1.5%, 2%. I just started it. So we'll see how that goes. But this is about the bespoke funding, where I am trying to take a 10K account that cost me I think it was $19. Let me verify this just so you know. And this was with their discount. So, okay, so their 10K account is $129. I used a discount code that they're running off of Twitter right now. I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's just bespoke or something, but it's like 7% or 10%. I don't know. Anyway, my total was $119.33 for this 10K challenge. All right. So this is the situation many traders find themselves in. They could start with a small account and eventually stack funds and accounts until they could reach a max funding account. Now, I believe. Let me go look. Let me go look here real quick. Will this open? It may not. For whatever reason, the Wi-Fi that I have here does not want me to go to their website. But that's actually common with several of these prop firm trading websites. I guess my page is like, this is sketch. Don't go here. And I don't know why. All right, here we go. What? Where are there? Oh, another cool feature that they have is an auto close on any trade that's open if your account hits profit, the overall profit target of 8%. So you don't have to stay up all night if you're in a position watching it, managing it, or at work managing it, and you're in a meeting and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm listening to you. Oh. Now you can, it'll auto close when it hits your profit target and you pass a challenge. So that's kind of cool. They have a scaling plan. If you receive a payout of 8% or more within a 4-month period, and at least 3 of those 4 months are profitable, they'll increase your account size by 40%. For example, a $100,000 account will scale up to $140,000 in the first scaling period if 3 of those 4 months were profitable and you receive a payout of 8% or more during a 4-month period. That's kind of cool. Evaluation process, 80% of the profits, that's the profit split. You can trade up to $4 million in total capital. So you can trade a funded account with up to $2 million. Complete the 1-step or 2-step process to access the account size of your choice and manage a funded account. How you manage your funded accounts will be decided by you. So I want to look at the FAQs and see what they say. I don't want to do a 1-step. I just want to do 2-step. How many lots can I trade on? So find below the maximum lots available a trader can have open across all pairs at any given time, depending on the account size they buy. So for a $10,000 account, the max lots you can have open is 3 lots, which is fine on a 10K account. For instance, on a 100K account, the max lots you can have open is 30 lots. I can't remember the last time I would open a position with 30 lots on a euro dollar or pound dollar. Like, that would be, if you were risking 1% per trade on a $100,000 account, I'm just doing the math in my head. A $100,000 account, you're risking $1,000. And if you were going to put 30 lots on a 100K account, you could only lose 3.3 pips, I think, if I'm doing the math right. That's your stop loss, 3.3 pips. Are there people that do that? Yeah. Are they stupid? Debatable. Is it wise? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Depending on what brokerage you have, you're going to get slipped something, typically. And your 1% is going to be gone with just a teeny tiny move. Now, I'm sure there are people out there that are trading the 1 minute or the 30-second freaking time frame, and they think 3 pips is huge and totally doable. I do not. I don't think it's wise, especially for like newer traders. You don't want a 3 pip stop loss. Would it be cool if you could do it? Yeah. Are there guys that can call that consistently in and out every day to make that happen? No. All right. So we have a 3 lot maximum on a 10K account. I can spread that out across any amount of pairs I want. Okay. That was good to know. No breach for inactivity. Oh. If you don't take at least one trade every 30 days, you will breach your account for inactivity. Leverage is 1 to 10 on indices, gold, and Forex. Oh, that's the 1 phase challenge. 2 phase standard challenge. Indices are 1 to 10. Forex and metals are 1 to 30. Still completely fine. You don't need maximum leverage unless you're trying to take your own personal $500 account on an unregulated broker somewhere out in the middle of the ocean that offers you 1 to 500 leverage, which is dumb. What are the trading hours? So it doesn't tell you what their max funding. It just tells you $2 million. But I don't know how many accounts that is. I don't know how many accounts that is. Overall max drawdown. When can I withdraw? Don't have to place a stop loss. Oh, maximum funding. Okay. The total maximum allocation is $2 million on the 2-step challenge. This can be $2 million with the classic challenge or $2 million with the rapid challenge. Or if you prefer, you could have $1 million on the classic challenge and $1 million on the rapid challenge, totaling $2 million across both 2-step challenge types. So $2 million. I guess you can just keep buying accounts until you get to $2 million worth of funding. I mean, that's kind of cool. I've never heard of a prop firm offering that amount. Now, that's not clear on if that's like a balance increase over 4 months at a time and they just keep taking you up. Can you only have, let's go see what their largest, what's their largest, go home. Okay, so they offer a 400 on the classic challenge. I don't want a rapid, I want classic. $400,000 is the largest amount, is the largest account size, single account size for purchase available. They have a 10,000, a 25,000, a 50,000, a 100K, a 200K, a 300K, and a 400K. So I'm starting with the 10K, their smallest account. And going to try to get max funding, which apparently is $2 million of funding. That's a lot. So, but, you know, my goal here is to be able to take the profits only using my initial outlay of $119.33 and going to get funded, get a payout, get my refund back plus the payout, and use those funds to buy the whatever amount, the largest account I can buy with that amount. So reinvesting those payouts. Still keeping the original 10K funded account, hopefully, while I'm then working on a new challenge. Okay, so that's Bespoke Funding 2 challenge. That's their phase 1 and phase 2. Now I'm going to talk through my rules for this challenge. Venator, why am I doing that? So Venator trading rules for this 10K to max funding challenge. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but typing in front of people, doesn't matter how good of a typer you are, you're gonna screw up the minute people start watching you type. I don't know why it does that. I can get out of this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's still 0 viewers. 1 viewer. I mean, my phone's running, so I can run a chat, but that's it. Venator trading rules, 10k-MAX funding challenge. So rule number 1. Whoa, don't want to underline. Rule number 1. Daily loss limit of 2%. So if I ever incur a loss of 2%, I close that account and it's done for the rest of the day. I can come back the next day and continue trading on the account. Rule number 2. Max trade size of 2%. That means if I decide I see a good setup and I want to risk I can risk up to 2% on any one trade. Now, if I'm going to risk 2% on any one trade, that means I'm only taking one trade because I'm basically risking my daily loss limit on that trade. I'm not going to limit myself to the number of trades I'm going to take per day because, if the setups are there, I'm going to try and take them. This is what a lot of new traders don't understand about trading. And if you liken it to a casino, and I'm not saying that trading is gambling, there are aspects of gambling in any investment or career or business that you're doing. You're taking risks. They are managed, calculated risks. Gambling is when you don't really have an edge. The likelihood that you lose is greater than the likelihood that you win over a set number of probabilities. You are gambling that you're going to be able to beat the house edge and win. That's gambling. In trading, if you have enough data and you have enough, your strategy has a good enough edge, and you know that you have the numbers that say over the course of 100 or 200 or 1,000 trades, I have an expected win rate of, let's say 60%. Let's say 50% win rate. And that you have all the numbers that show you this on your system. Then it's no longer gambling. You know what your edge is, and the probabilities that over time, the number of trades that you're going to take, because you have a 50% win rate and your wins, your reward is larger when you win than the amount that you're risking overall. With a 50% win rate, you know you're going to be profitable. And that's why it's not gambling, because you have an edge. And it's a probability game. And so the reason the casinos make so much money and their house edge is very slim on most games in the casino. We're talking 3%, 4%, some are down to 1% depending on what game you play, like blackjack I think is the lowest. Anyway, the house edge is very small. And so the casinos know we are going to lose to some gamblers. But if we participate in every single event, in every single play, we're going to win. We can't not. It's impossible not to. We have the edge. Statistically, we will come out ahead. That's why casinos make money, because they participate in every single wager. Every single one. When it comes to trading, we have to take the setups because it's a probabilities game. Trading is a probabilities game. When you have an edge, you need to participate in every possible setup that you can identify so that your numbers and your edge can play out. And if you know that you have an expected 50% win rate, then you can continue to participate in the market, because you know over time you're going to come out ahead. You're going to come out ahead with a 50% win rate and a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. You win if you take every setup that meets your A+ setup criteria. And if you decide to pass on some, you are lowering your edge, because you don't know which trade opportunity is going to hit your profit target of 1 to 2 and which one's going to hit your stop loss. So you need to participate in all the setups that you can take that meet your criteria. Okay, so for me, my daily loss limit's 2%. I could break that up into, if I see 3 positions, 3 trades at the same time, one on pound, one on gold, and one on indices on the US30. And I'm like, I'm gonna split up my 2% over these 3 trades, and I'm gonna take, what is that, like 0.66 lots on, because I can have 3 open. 0.66, I think there's maybe, I don't know if I'm doing the math off the top of my head right, but I could split that up over those 3 positions and I could let them all play out. Or I could pick the strongest one, the one that I think has the best chance of succeeding, and I can put my full 2% daily loss limit on that one position and let it go. So that's kind of how that works. That's my trading daily loss limit is 2%. My max trade size, the amount I'm willing to risk on any one position is 2%, which is equal to the daily loss limit. Okay. Number of trades I'm going to take, again, it's just going to be dependent on, if I take 1-2% and I lose, I'm done. I take 1 trade for the day, took my shot, lost, walk away. Number of trades are going to be dependent. I could win that trade really quickly and be up 4%. And now my daily loss limit is 2%. I could take 2 more trades of 2% each. So it's just going to be dependent on how the day goes and the trade setups that present themselves, of the number of trades that I'm going to take. Now, I'll tell you, typically, if I make 1 to 2, most of the time, I'm going to shut the charts and walk away. Because my experience has been, if I win a trade really quick and I think I identify something else later on in the day, I'm often giving back the profits that I made earlier that day. And so probably what I'm going to do, this is not a rule, but probably what I will do is, if I win if I risk 2% on a trade and I win that trade, I will probably close my charts and walk away from the day and come back the next day to see how it goes. Again, 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. So I'm not going to try to hit home runs. I'm not going to try and hit full, daily expansion or weekly. I'm not going to hold a trade until it just plays out. I am going for a simple 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. I have strategies and I've used them on my other accounts where I will hold, but I'm not going to do this on this challenge. Most people that are going to be taking a 10K challenge don't have the skill set or the mindset to be able to hold and manage trades beyond a 1 to 2. If you can consistently make 1 to 2 and you can have a 50% win rate, you are going to be profitable. You'll be able to pass this challenge. There's no time limit on it. You could take 20 trades, win 10, lose 10, and at the end of 20 trades, if it's 50% wins and 50% losses, and you've risked 2% per trade, you're going to make a crap ton of money. All right. All right, we're coming to the 8 o'clock hour. We have big news this morning. That's why I haven't even looked at the charts yet today at all with any of you. I'm just kind of going over my rules and what's happening here. Don't know if we'll take a trade today. I definitely won't take up any positions until after the news hits. But let's finish my trading rules for the 10K max to max funding challenge with bespoke funding. Oh, my mic fell. Sorry about that. If that was really loud, apologize. Need to tighten that up. Okay. 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. That means any position I trade, wherever my stop loss is placed, my take profit will be 2 times the amount of that stop loss. And when it hits, I take profit and I leave. So that means if I'm risking 2% per trade, if I win, I have made 4% of the account balance on one trade with a 1 to 2 risk reward. That means if I win my first 2 trades, with 1 to 2, I pass the challenge in 2 trades. 1 to 2 is not necessarily easy depending on what time frame you're on and how big your stop loss is and all these kinds of things. I get that. But 1 to 2 is very manageable. And if you are picky, you can find 2 in a row, 1 to 2 winners. If you're picky. And I'm going to show you how I do that. All right, 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Daily loss limit, 2%. Max trade size, 2%. 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. I haven't decided if I'm going to have if I'm going to move my stop loss to break even at a certain point. Because it's 1 to 2, I kind of feel like I want to just let it roll and assess the trade as we go. It's way more subjective that way, and I hate that because with a mechanical system, it's nice to have mechanical rules of when this happens, just do this. And for new traders, mechanical systems are often the best way to learn and get experience and keep funded. So I kind of think I'm just going to let the trades go. Like it's either going to hit my stop loss or it's going to hit my take profit. And that means I may be close to 1 to 2. Maybe if it's like really close to 1 to 2, like if it's at 1.5 R, I move to break even. I don't know. I'm still kind of playing with that. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to make it a rule. Move to break even when at 1.5. at 1 to 1.5. Okay. So if that means if my trade goes, if I'm risking 10, say if I'm risking 20 pips, right? And my trade goes to 30 pips, then I will move to break even. And it'll either continue on and reach the other full profit target, or it'll come back, stop me out of break even for a loss. No pain, no gain. I'm not going to take partials on this right now. Maybe as we go along, or maybe on like actual a funded account, maybe I take profits, because I can trade a funded account less. I'm going to trade it more conservatively. I'll probably be only risking 1% per trade instead of 2% per trade. Yeah, that's kind of my plan. So daily loss limit 2%, max trade size 2%, a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. I'm going to move to break even at 1.5 reward if the trade moves in my favor. Now, if it moves against me in my stop loss, I'm not moving my stop loss. It hits the stop loss, it takes me out, and then reverses. It does it. It's going to happen during this, and you're going to get to see how that all works. Okay. Next rule. Next rule is post all trades on Twitter, if not taken live on YouTube's. All right, so I'm going to post everything on my Twitter account as I go. Any trade position that I enter an actual like entry. Most of them, I do market orders quite a bit, but I also do limit orders. I don't really use stop orders. It just hasn't worked. Excuse me. Just hasn't worked for me super well. But I do market orders and limit orders. If I actually place an order, even if it's a limit order, I will post it on Twitter. I will do screenshots as much as I can from my MT5 account on my phone. And you can follow along. I'll put account updates as we go. I'll tell you if we get funded, where we're at on our max funding, how much we have under management, what payouts are, etc. Only purchase larger accounts with profits from funded accounts. This means I can only grow my assets under management if I get funded and I get payouts. And I get payouts in the amount large enough to purchase an additional 10K at the bare minimum, or potentially hopefully the plan to buy larger accounts with those payouts. Just with the refund on your first payout, you should at least be able to buy another 10K. And if you can make some money, 4 or 5% on that, then you could increase that amount. So that's the goal, is to just keep purchasing larger accounts with profits only from the funded account, starting with this one single 10K account. We're going to see exactly how difficult it is to become a max funded trailer with Bespoke. All right. I'm trying to think if there's any other rule here. Daily loss limit, max trade size, 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, move to break even at 1.5, post all trades and account updates on Twitter. Even if I have positions, most of my entries are in the 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame. Sorry about that. And so I may enter them on this account, but they may not play out while we're live on YouTube. And if that's the case, again, I will keep you updated on Twitter and let you know what's going on. All right, so here we go. That's the rules. That's the 10K to max funding challenge. That's what I'm trying to do. So now we can take these rules down. Maybe I'll post these in my videos so people can understand what I'm doing if they log on to YouTube, which currently one has. Nobody. Let's get rid of this. Let's get back up to our charts. So we've got some big old news coming. Let's go to Euro. Let's look at this. Dollar red folder news today. We have core inflation rate year over year. It's a big one. This is going to make this, the market is going to move with some force today when these numbers come out. We've been ranging, and hopefully this unlocks the range on the euro, at least, and even on the indices some. So you have your inflation rate year over year and month over month. I don't know why I'm yawning. Excuse me. All of this is at 8:30, which is 30 minutes away. We just started the 8 o'clock hour right here. Well, yeah, this candle just opened. This candle that just opened is at the 8 o'clock hour. So at 8:30, we're going to see some movement on euro, pound, gold, US30, NAS, S&P. I mean, everything. Any dollar pair is going to be moving quite aggressively. And I'm not going to take any trades, nothing, until that news comes out in 30 minutes. Excuse me. I don't know why. I got something tickling my throat. Check in on, and then we're going to do some analysis. I'm going to check in on our group that I'm a part of. And give me 1 second. Okay. wanted to look at some stuff going on in another group I'm in. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at not doing anything, absolutely nothing, until we get this news coming in. So here we are. Just started the 8 o'clock hour. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Don't know why. Oh my gosh. Get off of there. Are you freaking kidding me right now? There. All right, so here we are on the euro dollar. We're on the 1 hour chart. I'm going to pop up to the daily. You can see, man, we have been just in this nasty range right here. Up on the weekly time frame, this is what I'm monitoring and what I'm looking at. You have a volume imbalance here on the weekly time frame. This red line is the buy side liquidity that I would initially be targeting inside of that weekly imbalance. So I still think price is coming up here, and it could be today, could be this news, could be this week. I don't know. No one knows. We're just going to be prepared. So you've had a big leg up, you've had a retracement, you held this higher low, you've created a new higher high, and we're currently just in this 3 weeks of tight little range. 1, 2, 3. These 3 candles. That's what we're looking at. And so if you drop down to the daily, again, you can see the mess a little bit stronger. It's just super tight, super rangy. We're stuck basically between 1,900 and 1,100. So this kind of 200 pip range, which is, it's a big range, but it's been frustrating to be able to trade the euro dollar in this. With inflation, if, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's going to happen with the dollar, whether it's going to be bullish, whether it's going to be bearish, depending on if the numbers come in hot or cold. Whatever it is, it's going to move the market. And so I'm not going to do anything, absolutely nothing, until we get this news at 8:30. What might I expect? What might I expect? What could I anticipate? Well, you've got relative equal highs up here for buy side liquidity. You've got a lot of relative equal lows right in here that could come in for sell side liquidity. You've got some imbalances and fair value gaps down here that it has left untouched, which would also kind of line up with some of these, the lower end of this range, the max end of this lower range right here. So potentially you get your Judas swing, your false move when the news hits. The dollar pumps, which means the euro falls, and we get down here into this range, maybe bare minimum on a quick pump. And then you see, you know, so you get the news, it pops down, you get this drop, and then you see these buy side liquidity and targeting this weekly volume imbalance up here. Could happen. I don't know that it will. It could just pop a little bit and clear out all of the liquidity right here. There's a lot of liquidity under this low, this low, this low. There's some under here. That's why I think if it's going to come down and take out this low right here, then it's probably going to target that low and then head for one of these, this imbalance here or this imbalance here. So it's kind of what I'm going to watch and wait for. If it gets a drop down and we get an aggressive run low and we hit this sell side liquidity and we take out a lot of these positions and we pick up orders, I would then be looking for a market shift on the 15-minute or 5-minute time frame going back up that we could participate in to get in and try to find a 1 to 2 and to target this buy side liquidity and this weekly volume imbalance. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. We've got about 20 minutes for the news to hit, and then we'll wait and see. We'll just wait and see. Let's look at the pound. Pound is something very similar here. You've got relative equal highs resting right up here, and you've got big imbalances on the weekly time frame that it has yet to come back into. Doesn't have to come all the way up here. I think it's gonna clear out these relative equal highs and dig into this imbalance. Maybe it fills it in, maybe it just gets to halfway. I don't know. There is a bullish breaker block right here on this candle right here. We had the last down move, we took out the highs, and we've come back through with an imbalance and aggressively closed below that. So we've already basically hit the tip of this right here, this breaker. You can see we touched it once, rejected, we've come up and touched it again. So this breaker right there is something that I would be the last down candle before we took out buy side on the weekly time frame. So that's kind of what I would be looking at. Let me get that red line off of there. We don't need that. And if you're looking at targeting 50% of that, it's going to be, you know, I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't have to be exact, but which 50% of that breaker, ironically, is almost a complete full fill-in of this imbalance on this big bearish candle here that left that gap. So you can see the pound has been much more bullish over the euro. It's not been kind of caught as much in the tight range that euro has. You can see yesterday we came down here real quick. This was Monday. All right, this was Friday. We had a big bullish day on Friday. Monday we went up a little bit higher, came back. We left this fair value gap right here and when Monday closed. What did Tuesday do? It came down, filled in, and rejected and respected that fair value gap. So will that fair value gap hold again? It has so far today. Of course, we're waiting for news. So if we drop down to the 4 hour, you can see what we're looking at on the 4 hour time frame. This red line is the top of the last Thursday's candle. So here's the big move Friday. We had Monday. Yesterday it came down, filled in this fair value gap on the daily, and then rejected and moved higher. And now we're back inside that fair value gap, that daily fair value gap right here. That's where we're sitting on the pound. What could this do? Same kind of thing for the euro. I would be expecting there's going to be sell side liquidity here, here, and here. There is a fair value gap on the 4 hour. If we drop down to the 1 hour, let's see what we have. Again, sell side liquidity here. You've got relative equal lows here, and you've got a fair value gap almost filled in here, but you have this one that hasn't been. This one hasn't been come back to it all. Maybe it comes down. Maybe we get, again, you get this pop down, which happens a lot on these inflation numbers right now. The CPI seems to be it's the new NFP. NFP, I still don't touch, but NFP, man, things would just start popping all over the place. And in literally in under a minute, you could get a 100 pip move in both directions. And so that's why we don't trade this. You're not going to get filled. You're going to get slipped. If you're in a position like right now, like you're like, hey, I think I know what's going to happen. The numbers are going to hit and the dollar is going to fly, which means the pound's going to drop. I'm selling right now. I'm selling. And in 15 minutes from now, it's wrong. And you had a stop loss. Let's just say you wanted to go short right here. This little fair value gap, we had to break a structure. We have a small fair value gap. Prices come back into it, and we're going to risk 1%, and we're going to put our stop right here at 16 pips. And we're going to target that fair value gap down here, shooting for a 1 to 5. Or hell, let's just do like what we're doing on our challenge, 1 to 2. 1 to 2, all right? When, let's just say the news hits and you're wrong. and price spikes all the way up here instantly. Your 1% loss by the time the market is able to catch up is now a 2 or 3% loss, because price flew so far and so fast through your limit order. The broker is not going to fill you there. It's not. It's going to ignore it. It's going to go, here's the next available price. You want it out here. Sorry, we can get you out here. And your trade's closed. And you've lost 3 times what you originally planned on willing to risk. That's why it's dumb. Don't do it. Absolutely dumb. So I think, again, just like Euro, I think the pound is going to want to come up here and get into this, dig into this fair value gap, weekly fair value gap. This is a breaker and a fair value gap. So on the weekly time frame, I think it's going to want to get up there and knock that out. But does it come down here first and grab some of this retail? Look at what retail is looking at this. Look at this beautiful trend line on retail. What does that mean? It means there's sell side liquidity. Market wants to move to liquidity, from liquidity zone to liquidity zone. Understand that narrative, and you can understand and more accurately predict how price is going to move. So we're going to see price maybe pop, grab some liquidity. Does it need to come down here? No, but I think it's gonna grab some of this before it runs higher up into here. Alternatively, option 2, we see an immediate reaction that is bearish for the dollar, and you see price flip instantly up here, grab this buy side liquidity, and then I don't know. I would probably just go to the market. I would just go to the sidelines and watch and wait and see what kind of structure starts developing on like that 5-minute and 15-minute time frame. I don't take entries below the 5-minute. Most of them are on the 15-minute, in line with my higher time frame bias from the daily and the 4-hour and the 1-hour. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So we've got 13 minutes, it looks like, left before we get this news. So let's look at gold. Gold on the weekly, we've already taken out this buy side liquidity up here. We had relative equal highs, and last week we had that random spike up. I can't remember what day it was, but it shot up super fast and then came back down. So it did technically grab that liquidity. But if this is bearish for the dollar, you're going to see that get attacked again. On the daily, you can see we grabbed that liquidity. This was that spike up into that level. That was, what day was that? That was Thursday last week. And then Friday, we came back down, closed back inside kind of this range. And now we're just kind of floating around on the top of the range. You've got relative equal lows here. So this is all sell side liquidity here. This is daily. Okay. So that's your, if we're going to be bearish on gold, I would be looking for that to get swept today with the news release if we're bearish. If the news is bullish, then I would be looking for an attack and a run on 2080. On the 4-hour time frame on gold, what do I see? I see a liquidity grab up here. We grabbed through those equal highs. We've since broken structure. We're respecting this 4-hour fair value gap right here, which is, this could now be, this was a bearish order block. It disrespected it. And this is now a bearish breaker, which means price has stuck. You can see this bearish breaker right here. It's respecting that. And you have this 4-hour fair value gap right here that it's also respecting. So, I'm bullish overall on gold. I'm bearish dollar overall until it shows me something different, and I'll show you why. On the 1 hour, what could we be looking at real quick? You've got sell side liquidity here. You've got this retail trend line being built up. So it's engineering liquidity on the downside. Man, it is raining outside my window right now. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's coming down. Obviously you have sell side liquidity here. You have this fair value gap that we dug in almost right about the 50% down right here of that fair value gap. So does it come down here again? Potentially. You got some volume imbalance that traded through, come back close to it, but not gotten all the way there. Also have a volume imbalance up here, traded through, see how price reacted, popped right through, and now you've kind of come back up into that here and respected it. Now we're just waiting. Everything is just moving super tight, 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 tight. It's engineered liquidity on both sides. And this is what the market does heading into massive news events. It engineers liquidity, oftentimes to grab both sides before it shows its hand of where it really wants to go. So this is why you don't trade. It's a complete gamble. You have no edge, zero edge in trading red folder news. Don't do it. I'm gonna show you why I'm bearish dollar. Mostly because this is the weekly time frame. Mostly because we were moving higher all last year. We had a break of structure, fair value gap. This is the ICT 22 model right here. You had a run up, you had a break of structure with a fair value gap, you had a redo, and then you targeted a fair value gap of the previous leg. This big move up. It played out from November, the end of November, into, what is this, the end of January. We came back up, retraced into this order block, grabbed some liquidity. We've since been lower. Now we have engineered these relative equal lows inside of this monthly fair value gap on the dollar. So what do I think is going to happen? I think the dollar is going to get and take a bigger dig into this monthly imbalance right here and sweep out these lows before we also have relative equal highs up here at 106, around the 106 level, and you have this fair value gap on the monthly. So I think it's going to hit in here first before, if we decide to come up here and grab that, it's going to come down here first, I think. That's why today I'm bearish overall. These are the relative equal lows right here that I was talking about. Sell side liquidity. You also have relative equal lows for the last 3 days that it's engineered. You've got a little buy side liquidity here. You've got a daily imbalance up here that that we could kind of keep an initial eye on. Here's your daily volume imbalance right there, which is also would also move from this leg to this leg. It would move price back into a premium, into a fair value gap. So could pop up here and then drop. And that would be in line with seeing the pound and the euro drop aggressively before moving higher. So maybe it does. Maybe it pops up here. Maybe it pops up, grab some liquidity here before we head down to try to take out these relative equal lows on the dollar. So bearish overall, we'll see. You do have a volume imbalance right here. It could be that it just pops into here. We've already grabbed this on this daily time frame. We've already grabbed, that's a lower time frame imbalance that has respected quite aggressively many times. I'll show you that in a minute. But we did fly through that, came back through, and we've dropped. So maybe it wants to get into this volume imbalance right here. Drop down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, here's that volume imbalance. Maybe we get up into, you can see we have relative equal lows here, and then these are the big relative weekly lows down here that I still think we're going to take and dig deeper down into this big red monthly fair value gap imbalance. So when we get news, maybe we get a pop. Here is on the 1 hour. let me show you this imbalance right. Where'd it go? It's this one. It is just severely respected that level, which has been a fair value gap, an inverted fair value gap, gone through it, re-inverted. Man, coughing a lot. 5 minutes until the news. We're going to see what happens. And you can see that's where we are. This was the fair value gap yesterday. And I was targeting, came back up in. When was this? That was Friday last week. It fell off. Came back in yesterday and Tuesday. Didn't really respect it. But it did. I mean, you can see how it hovered around. So that order block right there and that fair value gap. So currently trading above it. I'm going to take it off just because it's not that important. Didn't play out the way I thought it would. Taking it off. I don't like it. Yeah, this is Von Bones. This is the 4 hour and the 1 hour now. We're down. So again, news. Maybe we get a pop up into here or up into this 1 hour imbalance right here before we try to attack these lows. Of course, it could just come out super bearish and price the dollar just tanks, and gold and pound and euro all just get rockets and shoot to the moon. US30. Quickly, we have 4 minutes. All right, on the US30, man, you can see where the buy side liquidity is here on the daily. We've just been ranging. We had a dip down, and we're back into the range. So you got some sell side liquidity here with some imbalances below. You've got buy side liquidity here, here, and here. Where does it want to go? Don't know. I mean, it could be really bad for the market if inflation comes in super hot. I don't see how that's going to be good. If it comes in as expected, like if it hits its number or a little bit lower, then you could see maybe a quick pop down and then just shoot up for this buy side liquidity up towards 35,000. On the 4 hour, it gets even uglier. You can just see, man, just how do you trade this? What a gross range. 2 minutes. So you have this, obviously you have a fair value gap here on the 4 hour. You've had a break of structure. Is this fair value gap going to hold? Are these two bullish candles going to be bullish breakers? Which means we had an up move to grab liquidity. We had an aggressive move back and broke through that lower high with a fair value gap. And you can see so far price came back down and has respected this bullish breaker. So do we get a pop down in a little quick pop down and then we run for these highs? Potentially. We have 1 minute and 8 seconds. So fireworks are about to go off. Again, you can see relative equal lows, which would make sense for price to drop maybe into this fair value gap before we go for these buy side liquidity targets up here. It's kind of what I'm watching. So we're about to see what's happening. 45 seconds. 20 seconds. I'm going to go down. I'm on the 1 hour. We're going to watch the euro. We'll bounce around after the news hits and see what happens. Not gambling. I think it's going to do something like this. And its news is hit. Here we go. And there we go. It's leaving the sell side liquidity. Currently, the numbers are lower on target and on target. So this is going to be it appears it's going to be bearish for the dollar, and US30 is climbing, leaving sell side liquidity intact. Looks like it wants to attack the buy side liquidity. And pound is, what did I say? It did no dip. It could just take off and rip up into that fair value gap. And it looks like it's going to try to attack that. Dollar, again, we've got buy side liquidity here with relative equal lows here. So the market is reacting, gold is climbing, if the dollar's dropping, which is typical. Again, I'd be looking for this fair value gap first, then this buy side liquidity, and then ultimately up back up to that 2080 line. Is this the fake move? Is this the move that says, nope, we're actually heading down? So you can see we didn't get the, so let's see, what have we gotten here so far? In 2 minutes, we have had a almost a 40 pip move in 2 minutes, which comparatively to the last 18 hours or whatever that is, you can see how much we've been waiting for these numbers to come out to get the market to move. So if this hourly candle can close above and with a strong close, then I would be looking for a retrace back down in to some of these levels to grab a piece of the pie as we head higher. Pound is just ripping. Let's see, overall we've had a 55 pip move on the pound. Dollar still dropping hard. Pound has grabbed the buy side liquidity. Euro has grabbed buy side liquidity. It does not have to go any higher. It could reverse here. It doesn't have to. We don't know what it's going to do. This is why we don't trade news. We're just watching. We're going to let the market give us clues and show us where it wants to go. Checking some messages here real quick. Excuse me. So, there we go. All right, currently no trade opportunities, no setups on day one of the 10K to max funding challenge with bespoke funding. So, yeah. We're just watching the fireworks happen. I have 2 viewers. Welcome, 2 viewers. Hey, like this stream. Follow me on Twitter. If we like, 1 like. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Follow along. It's going to be a fun journey. And you will be one of the 2 who saw it from the beginning. Yeah. So what I'm kind of thinking here is on the euro, if we get a close, we have 24 minutes for this 4-hour candle to close. If it can close above here, then I would expect this bearish 4-hour turn into a 4-hour order block, and I would expect price to come back down and to respect that, not break the low here and begin to attack these highs. So we may have a potential trade in the next, I don't know, 30 minutes to a couple hours, and we'll just see how it plays out if I decide to take a trade. I will post it on my Twitter account at Venator Trading. I'll give you my entry. I'll give you a screenshot. I'll show you everything I'm thinking on Twitter. So follow me on at Venator Trading at Twitter. You can follow along throughout the rest of the day. At the end of the day, I'll give you an account balance on Twitter and all those kind of details. So hopefully we can grow this as we go. And tomorrow, maybe we'll have more than 2 viewers. You never know. Euro is running hard. Pound heading for those highs. Dollar heading for these lows and these lows. US30 has made new highs, and if it can hold above, then I would expect, you know, yeah, it's just doing what it's doing. No trades taken. Account has been protected. If I don't take an official like large 1% or 2% position, I will take just a micro lot trade on my BESPOKE account to start the clock of my 3 minimum trading days that they require in each phase. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It is what it is. I'll just take a micro account trade and it'll be done. Whoa, what was that? One cool thing about BESPOKE is that if you have a funded account and you're in profit, let's say you're up, I don't know, let's say you're up 7%, okay, on your account, and you do something stupid and you hit your drawdown limit. They will still pay you out your profit split on any profit that's left in the account. So let's say you were up 7% on a 100K account, $7,000. And you do a stupid thing and you lose more than 5% in one day, and you violate the 5% daily drawdown limit. You still have 2% profit in your account. You have violated and you've breached the contract rules stated. So they're going to take that account away, but they're going to pay you out 80% on the $2,000 that's left. That's kind of cool. I don't know any other firms that kind of do that, but all right, so we're good to go here. News has hit. I need to go on and get about my day. You need to go on and get about your day. Here's what I'm looking at. If we can get a price close above this, I'll be looking for an entry here, somewhere in here, and we'll just watch and wait on lower time frames and see. Pound, something similar. Again, we could see a potential opportunity there. US30, you can see grabbed some liquidity and is pulling back into the range, so we'll have to wait for the next. If it falls back inside of here, I don't know that I would mess with US30 today. Gold is still climbing, and again, you could have some potential trade opportunities here, maybe on the 5 or 15 minute, but we'll have to let the rest of this day kind of play out and see. But that's welcome to the 10k to max winning challenge. Hope stream 1 was good for you. It was great for me. I enjoyed it. And tune back in tomorrow. I'll be back here at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll update you on Twitter as the day goes if anything else happens. So glad you guys were here with me, and enjoy the rest of your day.